It sure has been a minute, but we are back on our hardcore world, so welcome back everyone to another episode of the Hardcore series, where in the last one, I believe we built this barn just over the village here. And we're going to be taking a break from this island today because we need to work on... Oh, nope, there's my face. We need to work on a little bit of infrastructure. Since we arrived in the end, we've been using this cave on the main starter island for our villagers. And although it has served us well, it doesn't have a whole lot of space for expansion, and we need more. So today we'll be taking this island over here and starting the transformation to make it into a very large villager trading center. And we're going to do it in the form of a desert village, just to bring some new biomes into the end here. Now, the first thing that we need to do is get rid of all of the enderman spawning spots here, so that means a lot of torches. Let's do that. And now that we don't have to worry about spawns on the island, I think it's time to get some base terrain going. There we go. We got some pretty good terrain going on for our village, I think. And yes, it is the day after Halloween as I'm recording this, so I have a witch's hat on. Mainly because I can't remember how to take it off with Optifine, but you know, details. Anyways, like I said, we've got all of this open area to start planning out our village now. So we're going to have a lower half of the village as well as an upper half of the village. This part is going to be more mesa-like, and that area is going to be more desert-like. And that way we can split up different districts of our village too, to have different types of villagers in different districts. But to be perfectly honest, I don't really have a whole lot of an idea of what I'm doing for the village here. I've looked up a bunch of pictures of desert villages and different types of homes and stuff like that you'd usually find in a desert medieval village. So I'm going to try and model some based off of that, but I don't know how it's going to go, so we may have to go through a few iterations of this. I think a good place to start would be to just outline some homes and maybe see how that works out. So maybe just designate some areas to have some smaller homes over here. Or since I don't really know what I'm doing, I could just go ahead and build a couple houses, kind of like I already did here. These aren't final designs or anything like that, but we're going to be adding detail as we go. I just want to get the shells of these houses laid out. That way we can get our village going. But I built these on stream during the Extra Life stream day. So if you want to see that, the VOD is available on my Twitch channel, and I'll be doing a highlight reel at some point. But this is the kind of idea that I want for the village. I want all of the houses to be really close together. I want more of a square fashion to the houses, and I want them to be clustered as well. So you can see I've got two different houses on this one single building, and then we're going to have different variations in height just to give it some intrigue. I might add some variation to the terrain too. That way we have some houses higher than others. some houses lower than others, etc., etc. And I also want to break the city into districts too. So over here we've got more of like a house feel, but maybe over here I want to have more of a market feel. Maybe over there I want to have shops. Maybe up there I want to have more of like an industrial feel with like some blacksmiths and some leather workers and all that kind of stuff, because I want to section off the villagers so that we have different types of villagers in different districts. I don't know if that's exactly how it's going to work out, but we're going to try. Apparently I wasn't holding down the C button properly to zoom in on my face, so it just looked like a really stuttery image. But this village isn't going to build itself, so let's jump into another time lapse. Well, I'd say the village is starting to shape up. We've got a bunch of houses down now, and I'm very happy with how things are coming along. I've just about done all I can build today. I think we'll have to do the rest in another video. But like I said before, these are just the shells for the houses. We are going to go through and do a bunch of decorating and interiors and everything. But I want to give you a quick run through of how the town looks and feels right now. So you may notice this area that I'm standing in right now. It's got a big open area on the roof. What I'm planning on doing is having a little market here, so a few market stalls, and then maybe a few of these buildings can be small shops, like this one right here, for example. This is kind of the more poor district of the city, I guess, where all the houses are kind of scrunched together. They're a lot smaller, and yeah, this is where the less wealthy people would live. And then the individual houses over this way are where the wealthier people in the city would live. So they can afford their own building or their own tower or whatever it may be as you come over in this direction. I haven't finished all the paths or anything yet, so I do still have to put those in. But I'm not totally sold on the coarse dirt paths. I think they stick out too much. I've got to figure something else out. Then I've got a few of these towers dotted around the city as well. So the ones with the terracotta domes on them, those are supposed to be guard towers. So we're going to decorate those as such. Basically, I've just got one at different points in the city, and I want to have another one over in this area right here when I get around to building it. And then you may notice I have not started at all on the top part of the mountain. That's the word I'm looking for. I haven't started up here at all. This is going to be for another video too. We're going to build a bazaar up here. So for anyone who doesn't know what that is, you can look it up. It's kind of like a Middle Eastern market, and we're going to go with a fantasy vibe to it. So I might throw a picture up on screen here if I remember. Hopefully I do. If not, sorry. But that's kind of what we're going to go for up here. Now, there's a few things that I want to do to these houses before I start bringing villagers in. Number one is add the floors, and number two is add doors. I think I'm going to go with a mixture of acacia doors and jungle doors. I feel like those two fit best with the desert theme. There we go, all the doors are in place, and I have put all the floors in buildings. Okay, this is a bad example, it already had a floor. Here's an example of one that didn't before. Haha, floors. And as you can see, I switched out all the paths from coarse dirt to birch and stripped birch because I think this works a lot better for the tones in the area and it's less in your face than the coarse dirt was. So I feel like it's a much smoother transition from terrain to path. Now, we got one more building to build, and it's in this area right here. That's the last one we're going to build today, I swear. But this is going to be our town hall. It's not going to be anything super fancy because, I mean, it's not an, extravagant village or anything. But it is an important building for us because this is where all the villagers are going to come from. The villager breeder is going to be underneath the town hall and they're all going to spring up into the town hall and then go forth into the village. And with any luck, this will be the last time lapse of the video. There we go, that fills the space nicely. And I think it looks pretty good no matter what direction you're looking at it from. But this is going to be our town hall / city center, and below this building we're going to have our villager breeder. And yes, the inside of this building is very much a work in progress. Now I'm looking around trying to decide where I want the villagers to come up from, and I just realized this building has all even walls. So poking one hole anywhere is gonna look pretty weird, so I guess we'll just put it right here. Now I gotta dig out a hole down here for the breeding center. There we go, this should be enough room to work with. So in the back here we're gonna have our villager breeder, and then in this little room off to the side here we're gonna have our zombification area and our curing center. So I guess it's time to get building. We're gonna start with our breeding area. Nothing too special, just the same villager breeder you guys have seen me make a few times over now. Now, where the real fun is going to happen is out front here. I'm going to use a zombifier made by a guy named Chapman, and I'll leave his video in the description below. First thing we got to do is replace this area of glass with walls, just like so. And then throw a dispenser in here for minecarts, some glass, block, piston, 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 lots of rails, more rails, block, 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 torch, hole, repeater, dust, dust, glass, block, 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 slab, hole, dust, block, button, 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 and button. There we go. I know it doesn't look too fancy right now, but I'll pretty it up later. But this is the full contraption made, minus a few things. The next thing we really need is our zombie. He's gonna go right here, and that's gonna be fun. Because you may remember that we already have a zombie in the end, but let me show you how far away he is from where we need him to be. We gotta go over our main base island, back to the starter island, down into this cave here, and this is also where we gotta bring the villagers from, and all the way down here to where I believe his name is Dummy. Oh wait, no, he's just a dirt holder, so basically a dummy. We gotta transport him to the desert island, and I gotta bring 2 of these guys with me too. So I guess it's time to grab a whole bunch of blocks and make a real janky path all the way over to the desert island. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Oh, ghost blocks in the end. That's weird. There we go. We've got our long bridge back to the spawn island, and I've covered it with rails too so that we can get our guys over. I did have to use a sizable chunk of the iron that I had left to make these rails though, so we're definitely going to have to solve that in the next episode or 2. Now we can go down into the cave system here and get our guys on the move. Now we do have to be a little careful with this guy because, he's going to smack me the entire time. Alright, let's get you on the track. Ow. Ow. Cool. So, with the villagers, I'd probably just push them all the way across, but this guy will definitely kill me, so we're going to take a little bit of a different approach and use one of the most underused things in Minecraft. Furnace minecart, let's go. And boop, and boop. There we go, perfect. Let's just dig a staircase down here and see what happens. Just need to borrow these for a minute. And it looks like I didn't quite borrow enough. Oh well, we'll give him a shove anyways. You're almost in your new home. There we go, now this guy's in place. We're gonna leave him the one rail there and block him off. May as well replace our tracks too. Now to finish off this contraption, we just gotta temporarily break this torch, throw a glass block in front of the piston, and replace the torch. Cool, now this guy has a glass block in his head and he can't see me if I'm just normally here like this. But if I press this button right here, he'll be I messed up somewhere along the way. Oh, that's not what I wanted. All right, let's get this guy pointing the right way again. Oh, this is just gonna mess up again. Okay, we're gonna break his track. Okay, I figured out where I went wrong. This block right here is supposed to be glass. Otherwise, we're powering both pistons. Okay, and also I pressed the wrong button for the demonstration too. So if I press this button right here, then his face will be exposed for a minute and he can get line of sight to start hitting whatever's here. In our case, a villager. And this slab right here prevents him from locking onto us. Okay, time to go get the villagers. You and you. And off you go. There we go. It's kind of hard to tell, but the villagers are in the breeder. We just got to give them some food and they'll start pooping out babies in the morning. That's one of the things that sucks about villager breeding in the end is you can't pass the day-night cycle without, blowing yourself up. So I either just have to wait until morning or I have to go to the overworld and sleep. Oh, those are angry particles. Why have we got angry particles, guys? You've got bread. You've got beds. What else do you need? Angry particles. Stop being angry. Why are you angry? Oh, there we go. I think I saw a baby villager. Yes, I did. There we go. I didn't have enough air blocks above the bed at first. We'll give them the rest of the bread since I already blew through 2 stacks with the failed breeding. And we'll let them do their thing. Now, for the rest of what I want to build, I have a bit of a problem. I need 12 slime blocks, and all I have for slime is this right here. Plus, I need some sticky pistons and everything, so that's just not going to do. So I think it's time to make ourselves at least a simple slime farm. Alright, I've done a little bit of snooping, and I found out that in my world, there are some slime chunks just over here. Like I said, we're just making a temporary slime farm, that's why I don't really care that it's in the middle of my animal pens. But if we head over this way and we turn on chunk borders, this chunk right here going over this way and the one adjoining, I think in that direction, are both slime chunks. So if we hollow them out, we should get lots of slimes. There we go, much better. Now for the million-dollar question. Do slimes spawn below level 0? I actually don't know. Well, I've been wandering around this area for the past 15-ish minutes and I haven't had a single slime spawn, so mission failure, even though if you look in the top corner there, you can see slime trunk equals true. Oh well, we're gonna go find a swamp and smack some slimes. There we go, we've now got quite a few slime balls, and more than enough to make the slime blocks that I need. Okay, good, you can convert them back into slime balls. I was worried you might not be able to. As you can tell, redstone's not exactly my forte. But we're gonna give it a go anyways with this villager hearing center. I'm just gonna go ahead and hollow out a good chunk behind these hearing areas because we're gonna need some space for redstone. There we go, that's a good amount of room for redstone. Now I'm probably just gonna blaze through doing this redstone here and then give you guys a quick overlook of it afterwards. Alright, behind me I have 2 different circuits that I made back in Season 1 of Enigma actually, when Lilith and I made the Villager Trading Center. So, I've got 2 different mechanisms here. I've got one here that will actually toggle this torch. So it's a lot of redstone for not a lot. Once again, I feel like it's worth mentioning. Redstone's not my forte, but I managed to come up with this. Basically, when I flip this lever here, that redstone torch will turn off. So the purpose of that, it doesn't look like it does anything right now, but on top of this redstone torch, we're going to have a rail line. And the rail line we want to split off in different ways. Okay, now thinking about that again, what I said doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so let me show you. Okay, so the top set of rails that brings the zombie villagers into their hearing centers are going to look something like this. One going into one compartment, next one going into the next, so on and so forth. But we need a way of when a zombie villager goes into this one here, we redirect this rail to go that way instead. And that's what this lever here does. You flip that when there's a zombie villager in this pod, and the direction of the track will change. So now, instead of the minecart going into this pod, it'll carry on to the next track and then go into this pod here. And for all you redstone geniuses out there, yes, I did have my redstone inverted. So actually, when it's inactive like this, the rail will be forwarding it along to the next, and when it's active like this, it'll be able to take a villager. Here we go, we are making good progress. We've got all of the modules made with all of the redstone working everywhere. Basically what I've got to do now is I've got to put in the rail system that'll bring the zombie villagers from here to their pods, and then I've got to finish setting up the water stream below here, so they're going to fall into a water stream. That's going to carry them to this point right here, where they'll rocket up into the town hall. That's the word I was looking for. Alright, I believe we're all hooked up and ready to go here. So I've added these little pods here, and I made them look a little nicer than, just, exposed. But yeah, I've double checked all of the redstone still works, and I've gone through and I've added all of the rails that we need to get our zombie villagers into the curing pods and everything all the way around here. Definitely a lot of powered rails. By the way, gold farm is something we've got to add to our bucket list. But let's say I'm a zombie villager and I've just been cured and I want to send him to the surface now. Basically what I'd do is I'd be over there, obviously, but I press this button here and I drop into this water stream, which will, bring me along this way and around the corner and down this way to a water elevator, which goes up to the surface in the town hall, and then our villagers can scurry away from here. I should add a bunch of beds in these houses, that way they come and claim some of them and they'll be running around and everything. I think that could be really cool. Now, of course, I've got to figure out how to give these villagers functionality too, because one thing I didn't think of when I was building this village, I thought of it at the beginning, and I said it at the beginning that I wanted districts and everything like that, but I definitely didn't build this village in that way. I don't know how we're going to make this functional. What we might do is we might have some villagers on the surface here and then have an actual trading hall underground or something like that. But we'll have to play it by ear. We'll get a few on the surface here. We'll get the base trades that we need, and then we'll decide what to do from there. After all this work, I think it's about time we give this system a full test run. So let's grab our first villager here. Alright, he's in place. Now I hit the button. Alright, there we go. We got to work on the line of sight thing, but he's converted. Then we hit this button here to move him to this area here. Then we hit this button and he goes along, and he should end up in this first pod here. Perfect. Now we pulled this lever to indicate that we got a dude in here, and we do another. And hopefully this guy goes into the right spot, and yes he did. Perfect. Now we've got 3 dudes here. Let's see if we can hit them all with 1 splash potion. I think we can. Alright. Perfect. And then we just wait for them to cure. And we can fill up the other side while we're waiting. There we go. We got a bunch of cured villagers now. So for our test run, we're just going to make them all into masons, I think. Okay, it helps if they're not all tracking each other's workstations. You want to work. Work, please. How about you? Little issue getting them to take workstations. I think what's happening is this guy is tracking this workstation, so this guy can't take it. No taker? Hey, that guy took a profession. Okay, what's wrong with you two? Oh, that guy did it. Let's lock these guys in while we can. Okay, I'll figure that out on my own, but either way, we have 2 guys that are ready to go off. So what I want to do from here is I want to break their minecart, but I need a way to keep them in there first. It's not going to look pretty, but we're going to use the slap. I'm going to end up redesigning this whole area anyways. I just need something that, words are hard, something that functions for now. Oh, okay. Well, that guy's in the wall now. You're all pains. Okay, well, what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to go in here, so let's just push him in there for now and see if our water system actually works. So with any luck, he should come around the corner here in like a minute. All right, here he comes. And then he should, get stuck. Oh no. Alright, well, we'll just give him a little boop here, and up he goes. There we go, we have our first villager in the village. And right now I'd say our machine is working maybe 50 or 60%. Let's see if we can't get that percentage a little higher. Alright, I've done a bunch of troubleshooting and I've come up with solutions for most of my issues. The issue of them clipping through the wall here, it was fixed by me just putting some blocks in the empty areas there. Them not taking professions, the only thing I could find that had any sort of effect was to block off the line of sight of other villagers when I was giving these guys a workstation. But when I do that, it seems to work pretty reliably. And the issue with the water stream here is mostly fixed by adding the fence posts down there to kind of give them a little bump into the soul sand. Some of them do still get stuck on the corner of the glass, but that is a problem for another day. Anyways, before we end this one for the day, there's just one thing I want to showcase in the main base. You may have noticed it throughout the episode, but I have retired the storage system behind me here because it was just getting too small. And instead, I've built a giant storage system in here. There's actually a full episode that I did on this, but unfortunately, I kind of lost the footage. My laptop died while I was on vacation, and it had all of the footage for that particular episode. So unfortunately, the original episode 11 was lost. But yeah, new fancy storage system. Yay! But with that being said, I am very happy with all of the progress that we made in today's video. We got a ton of terraforming done. We built an entire village. We got our villager breeding and curing station set up. We got a lot of stuff done in this one. And we're going to do a lot more in the next episode too. But it's going to be a lot less packed into the episode because these mega episodes are getting a little daunting with full-time work and school. So I've definitely got to cut back on the content that I put in each episode. But we'll probably have more frequent episodes because of that. So silver linings, right? Anyways, that's all for this one. If you did like this video, make sure to drop a like. And if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.